Heat stress, hydration. This information will be coming to you from Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Heat-related illnesses and how to stay cool and safe in the hot summer weather. High temperatures kill hundreds of people every year. Heat-related deaths and illnesses are very preventable, yet more than 700 people die annually from extreme heat exhaustion or heat strokes every year in the United States. So take measures to stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay informed. Getting too hot can make you sick. You can become ill from the heat if your body cannot compensate for it and properly cool you off. Then the main things affecting your body's ability to cool itself during hot and extremely hot weathers are as follows. Factors affecting the heat. So even though the temperatures are high, you'll notice when they give the weather report, they will give us one temperature and then they'll add the humidity content to it, and that will make the other temperature go very high. That's because humidity is high. So when the humidity is high, sweat will not evaporate as quickly. These keeps your body from releasing heat as fast as it usually does. Some personal factors that we want to look at as well, such as age, obesity, whether or not you're running fever, dehydration, heart disease, mental illness, poor circulation, sunburn, and prescription or over-the-counter drugs and alcohol use. All these things play a role in whether a person can cool off enough in very hot weather. Those who are at highest risk are going to be those people that are 65 years and older, and that's because during this age, their body has slowed down and it can't even process the foods as quickly as they used to. So it takes the kidneys a while to clear everything out. So we have to keep an eye on our older adults and also on our younger children that are younger than 2, because their body system works so fast, they dehydrate and urinate and do everything a lot faster than we do. And also those with chronic diseases and or mental illness. Those with chronic diseases are going to be those who take a lot of different drugs, medication, prescription medications for their chronic illness. But a lot of times the side effects from a lot of medications will be dehydration, or it will tell you on that label to stay out of the sun. And those with mental illness, of course, they don't know any better. So it's up to us to watch over them and try to keep their well-being our number one priority. You want to closely monitor people who depend on you for their care and ask these simple questions. Ask yourself, and you can ask them, but I'd ask myself, are they drinking enough water? Do they have access to air conditioning? And do they need help cooling off? Once you get the answer to these questions, then you will know what to do. The people at greatest risk for heat-related illness can take the following protective actions to prevent illness or death. Stay in air-conditioned building as much as you can. Air conditioning is going to be your number one way to protect yourself against heat-related illnesses or death. If your home is not air-conditioned, reduce your risk for heat-related illnesses by spending time in public facilities such as your libraries, centers for the aged have different places and facilities they can go to stay cool, and other public facilities that they may have. Make sure you have air conditioning in your vehicle, and you can also contact your local health department or locate an air-conditioned shelter in your area. A lot of places now have air-conditioned shelters so the people won't die of heat stroke that are homeless and living on the street. Even young and healthy people, I'm going to say that again, even young and healthy people can get sick from the heat if they participate in strenuous physical activities during hot weather. So what they want to do is limit your outdoor activity, especially midday when the sun is the hottest. Pace your activities, start activities slowly, and pick up the pace gradually. Drink more water than usual and don't wait until you're thirsty. Rule of thumb here, if you wait until you're thirsty, then your body is telling you you're already dehydrated. So you want to keep the water going at a constant pace all day long, not just when you get thirsty. Muscle cramping may be an early sign of heat-related illness. Wear loose clothing. This is going to keep you from constricting your blood vessels. Lightweight clothing, because heavy clothing are for the winter to keep you warm. Light colored clothing, because they're not going to attract as much sun like your brown, your dark browns, your navy blue, your black. These colors actually draws the heat to you. If you play a sport that practices during hot weather, such as football, soccer, baseball, protect yourself and look out for your teammates. Schedule workouts and practices earlier or later in the day when the temperature is cooler. So number 2, I want you to use the buddy system here. Monitor a teammate's condition and then have someone to do the same for you. You do it for each other and check on each other as you practice. Seek medical care right away if you or a teammate has symptoms of heat-related illness. And I'm going to go over those signs and symptoms later. Learn more about how to protect young athletes from heat-related illnesses by taking this CDC course. Now, CDC website has updated itself very well now. You can actually go on there, create you an account, and if you're not sure about any medication or any type of diseases, you can create an account and go in there and look up whatever it is that you need to find that's going to help you better take care of yourself. And that is Center for Disease Control, or cdc.gov. Everyone should take these steps to prevent heat-related illnesses, injuries, and death during hot weather. Stay in. That means staying in an air-conditioned indoor located area as much as you can. Drink. You're going to drink plenty of fluids even if you don't feel thirsty. And when I say fluids, that don't mean just your water. You can drink your water, your Powerade, your Gatorade, anything that's going to help replace those electrolytes that you lose during all that sweat and all that humidity during the summer. You're going to schedule all of your outdoor activities very careful. You want to schedule them during the time, whether it's early in the morning or it's later in the evening, so you're not out there in the sun and it's UV rays in the hottest part of the day. You're going to wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing and use sunscreen. And they used to say that darker-skinned people did not need to use sunscreen, but now since the ozone layer has been so depleted, they're recommended that even dark-skinned people wear sunscreen. Then last but not least, you want to pace yourself. Don't be working out and running and doing all that stuff so you get so strenuous that you're down the road or wherever you are, and you can't get to help. 10 tips for staying hydrated during the summer. Number 1, drink water and plenty of it. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, daily fluid intake recommendations, they're going to vary by age, sex, pregnancy, and breastfeeding. You're going to start by drinking a cup of water each morning when you wake up, a cup or a cup or a glass of water before bed. Have another glass with every meal. Then drink 1 or 2 cups after working out. To ward off dehydration, drink fluids gradually. Don't gulp them all down at one time. You're going to drink them gradually. Give your body time to absorb it slowly. And you're going to do this throughout the day. Number 2 for your 10 tips. You're going to know the signs of dehydration. Does your skin feel dry, irritated, inflamed, itchy, or sensitive? And a simple test that the nursing personnel do, if you can pick up your skin and you let it go and you pick it up and pinch it, if it does not immediately turn back to where your skin was originally, if it stays there and it goes down slowly, that pinched area, then you're dehydrated. Also, if you're experiencing a headache or feeling dizzy or fatigued or tired, these are signs too. Muscle cramps, rapid breathing, fainting, and not urinating, or having very dark yellow urine are others. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, the simple solution is you're going to get out of the heat. You're going to drink you plenty of liquids. And if you're feeling like that already, you're going to need more than water. So these are small over-the-counter options, such as your Pedialyte, your Hydrate, your Powerade, your Gatorade, anything that's going to help balance out those electrolytes and sodium with dehydration as well. And if your dehydration is severe, then you call 911 or have someone else to dial it for you. And most of us have these little smart watches and things that we wear now. And you can also call for an emergency 911 with the watch. So if you're going to be out like that, at least have one of those smart watches on. And if you get out of trouble and you're way out, you can dial for emergency help, and they can find you by tracking you with that watch. Number 3, check your urine. This is a picture of your kidneys here. So a good measure of hydration. So once we drink the water, and if we're getting enough and our kidneys are being flushed properly, then pale urine, similar to the color of a straw, of straw like your hay, well, straw that they feed the cattle. That indicates proper hydration. While darker urine is a sign that you need much more water. A dark yellow or amber colored urine means you may have mild to severe dehydration already. So, of course, other medications and other health conditions are going to also affect this, because some medications just cause you to have darker urine, even if you're well hydrated. So I'm not talking about those people that are on those drugs. If you're concerned about the color of your urine, you can always consult with your healthcare provider, and they can do a urinalysis and give you that information on whether or not you are dehydrated. And most insurances will pay. Number 4, you want to avoid these things that are well known for dehydrating you. And those things are going to be alcohol, your sugary drinks, and or any caffeinated drink. Tricky fact, some liquids work against hydration. Drinks such as coffee, that cup of coffee every morning, sugary sodas, beer, wine, hard liquor, lemonade, sweet tea, energy drinks, smoothies, and flavored milk are all culprits. And these are the things that we, especially anybody that drinks coffee, are going to have that cup of coffee in the morning. Sugary sodas, they are loaded with so much sugar. Sodas are loaded with sugar and sodium as well. That's why they dehydrate you so bad. Beer kind of works like coffee. All of them are going to work the same, because you get all this sugar in your system. You drink coffee, and it's just going to make you urinate. You're just going to go, 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 just going to urinate. But it's dehydrating you because as soon as you drink it, you're urinating it out. Your wine, hard liquor, lemonade, sweet tea, energy drinks and smoothies and flavored milk. These are all the things that we normally try to drink to cool off with in the summer. Well, it's okay if they're not so sweet. Now, let me tell you something about lemonade. Lemon is a natural diuretic. So if you're going to drink lemonade and then have a lot of sugar in it, you're well depleting your tissues of the water that it needs. They are loaded with sugar and sodium and other ingredients as well that removes water from the tissue rather than increasing the water within the tissues. They help our bodies to stay functional. Consider swapping some of these out every day with a glass of water to rehydrate with more water for each dehydrating drink. So if you drink a soda, drink your glass of water. If you have a lemonade, drink your glass of water. Just try to put back in there what it's going to take out. Number 5, cool down. Proper hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about regulating your body temperature too. So during the summer, when the risk for heat stroke is at its highest point, wear your light, loose-fitting clothing, your light colors. Schedule strenuous sports and physical activities after, I say for us, after 6 o'clock or before 6 o'clock in the morning when it's cool. Protect yourself from the sun by wearing a hat or staying in shady areas. Take drink breaks often and mist yourself with the little spray bottles. You can find them at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. Just mist yourself with some of that cool water. That'll help cool you down some and keep you from being overheated as well. Number 6, you want to eat foods with high water content. Did you know that approximately 80% of our water intake is going to come from drinking water? So that's why I'm stressing the fact, drink you those 8-ounce glasses, get you at least 5 of those 8-ounce glasses. If you can get 7 or 8 in there, that's optimal to keep you well hydrated. The other 20% can come from foods. All whole fruits and vegetables contain some water, but snack on these fruit or vegetables for maximum benefit, such as your cucumbers, celery, tomatoes, radishes, peppers, cauliflower, watermelon, spinach, strawberries, broccoli, and grapefruit. Now, with that grapefruit, people are going to have to watch. If you're on blood pressure medicine, any kind of blood pressure medicine, do not drink or eat the grapefruit because it just wipes out. You might as well not take your high blood pressure medicine if you're going to have the grapefruit or the juice, because it's just like not taking it, because it's going to knock that medication right on out of your system. And also, if you are a diabetic, you want to watch your intake of your watermelon and your strawberries and grapefruit as well. But usually those that are diabetic also have a problem with blood pressure problems. So you want to watch your watermelon, strawberries, and grapefruit if you have high blood pressure. 7, replenish when you sweat. Sweating is the body's way of cooling off. But when you sweat, you're losing fluids. You're losing your water intake. So you're going to need to replenish that water. If you play a sport or if you're heading out to go hiking, it's going to be very essential to drink water throughout these activities, not just before you go and when you come back, but it's essential to drink water throughout the entire physical activity. Your sweat rate, the humidity, and how long you've exercised are all factors to consider. Proper hydration means getting enough water before, during, and after exercise. I'm going to emphasize that again. Proper hydration means getting enough water before, during, and after exercise, especially strenuous exercising. The American Council on Exercise recommends these guidelines before, during, and after a workout. You want to drink 17 to 20 ounces, 2 to 3 of water, 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 hours before you exercise. And 17 to 20 ounces is like about the size of the personalized Cokes or waters we buy in the bottled waters we buy in the store. You want to drink 8 ounces, 20 to 30 minutes before you exercise. Drink 7 to 10 ounces every 10 to 20 minutes during exercise, and drink 8 ounces no more than 30 minutes after exercise. Choose water during flights. Believe it or not, flying and the different altitudes dry you out. It dehydrates you. So you want to choose water during your air flight. Make sure you drink you some water rather than the coffee, the drink, or the alcohol, or the sodas. Airports and flights can be very dehydrating. It's not easy to drink as much as you usually do when you're on the go. So that's why you want to choose some water when they offer it on the flight. And you know you can only take so much on the plane with you. So you can ask for water while you're on the plane. But summer vacation and airplanes are known for low humidity air, which contributes to low hydration at touchdown. So this is why you feel that thirsty. And plus, if you're like most people, you're chewing the gum that keeps your ears from popping while you're on that flight. All this plays a role in your dehydration. You want to pack an empty, reusable water bottle with you on your carry-on bag, and then fill it up with water after going through security. Skip the vending machines at the airports that's loaded with all those chips and those different things that are high in salt and sodium content, because it's only going to dehydrate you more and make you more thirsty. And ask for water when the beverage cart passes by mid-flight. Infuse with flavor. Not a frequent water drinker? Join the club. There are so many people, including myself, that really just don't like water by itself. Try sprucing up your water by adding a few simple ingredients. Limes, lemons, mint, oranges, berries, cucumbers, and other fruit improve the taste without artificial sweeteners or preservatives. And even the cucumbers give you, adding that to your water, give it a robust flavor. The flavor is very crisp and clean, and it actually does make the water taste better. Be careful with the lemons and the limes when you put it in your water. Don't put a whole lot, as both of these are natural diuretics. This can help you drink more water than you usually do. So you can also give coconut water a try. A lot of people drink the coconut water, and they have some that are flavored, or you can add your flavor to it just like you do your regular water if you can't drink it that way. This mineral-rich liquid, the coconut water, is packed with potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. So it replenishes lost fluids and electrolytes from exercise and hot climates quickly. So actually, coconut water is a very good thing to have if you're doing strenuous exercises, because it's going to give you a lot more than water, and it's going to replace a lot more than water. Number 9, infuse. Number 10, consider a probiotic. Our bodies are home to good and bad bacteria. They're in our mouth, in our gut, and in our skin. Probiotics are living microorganisms that are found in yogurt and other cultured foods and supplements that can help improve your body's bacteria. Because what we want is our body, we want the good bacteria. So taking a probiotic can help improve your immune system as well. It can protect you against infection and improve your digestion and absorption of food and nutrients, including your absorption of water. Probiotics also help with several conditions associated with dehydration, including diarrhea. Benefits of drinking water. Water is your friend. So 70% of our water is 70% of our bodies are made of water. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8 of those 8-ounce glasses of waters that we talked about earlier. So this water is going to boost your brain power, help your lungs, help your stomach, give you a healthy heart. It's going to help your blood vessels. It's going to help your kidneys. It's going to help every part of your body. Here are just some pictures of some of the things that help you hydrate besides your water. Water is optimum, but if you are outside and sweating a lot and losing a lot, because when we sweat, if you ever been running or doing something strenuous and sweat dripped in your mouth and you taste it, it's very salty, that's because you're losing electrolytes and sodium when you sweat. So when you got losing that much from sweating, you may need something like Gatorade, Powerade, and if you're diabetic or if you're just self-conscious and don't want all those sugary drinks, you can use the Gatorade Zero or the Powerade Zero. And I've also found this summer that they have Powerade freeze pops and they taste pretty good. Me and my grandbabies, we eat on them all the time when we're out doing something, working in the yard or doing something, just outside walking. And they use those. And then for our little babies, they have the Pedialyte popsicles or the little bottles of Pedialyte. All of these are a good form of rehydrating. And the Pedialyte is good for the babies when they're teething and they're having all this diarrhea and all this loose stools. So you can get it for them to drink. But I find that usually if they're at that age, then the Pedialyte pops will help soothe their gums. It'll do two things. It's going to soothe their gums as well as help with replacing the electrolytes. Are heat stroke and heat exhaustion the same? No. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke are types of heat-related illnesses. People often talk about heat exhaustion and heat stroke as though they are separate things, but they exist on a spectrum from not so serious to a significant and life-threatening emergency. And this is a saying by Dr. Waters. Sultry summer days might have you dreaming of fun in the sun, but those bright sunny days can also have a dark side if you're not careful. Heat illnesses can be very serious, and it's important to recognize the symptoms. And this is coming from the emergency medicine physician, Dr. Thomas Waters. Very high core body temperatures above 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, heat exhaustion is less dangerous, but it can present with muscle cramps, headaches, dizziness, weakness, fatigue, nausea, and vomiting. And there are other heat-related illnesses too, not to mention the dangers of extreme sunburn. This is why I mentioned earlier to make sure that when you go out in the sun, you're going to be out there for prolonged areas at the beach or swimming outside. Then make sure you put on suntan lotion first to keep you from burning. and it also prevents skin cancers. Dr. Waters shares below Dr. Waters shares ways you can prevent heat exhaustion and heat stroke by recognizing the symptoms and responding appropriately. The spectrum of heat-related illnesses includes heat rash, also known as prickly heat. This is a red stinging rash that develops when you're hot and sweaty, and it's going to start to sting because of the sodium content that is in the sweat. It's most likely to show up in areas where sweat gets trapped, like inside your elbows and behind your knees. Heat cramps, painful muscle cramps, and they can and will strike when you're exercising in hot weather. They develop when you sweat so much that your body loses salt and fluids. Heat exhaustion, more serious than heat rash or cramps. Heat exhaustion occurs when your body cannot cool itself through sweating. Untreated, it can progress to a heat stroke. Symptoms of heat exhaustion. You're going to have high body temperatures between 101 degrees Fahrenheit or 38.3 degrees Celsius and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Pale skin. You're going to have muscle cramps, like you see the athletes running and they'll fall down and grab their legs and stuff because they're dehydrated. You have dizziness, headaches, weakness and fatigue. Rapid breathing, they're breathing like panting like little dogs or little puppies, and you'll have nausea and vomiting. Whereas in heat stroke, sometimes people call it sunstroke. That's going to be your most severe heat-related illness. During a heat stroke, this is what happens. Your body temperature climbs very quickly to dangerous levels. Often people with heat stroke stop sweating. The body's mechanism for dealing with heat are overwhelmed. So without treatment, heat stroke can be deadly because your body can no longer cool itself off because it's already overwhelmed by the heat it's trying to get rid of. One way to think about heat-related illness is to recognize sweating as your body's way of cooling itself down. Sometimes on hot, humid days, sweating might not actually be enough to offer all the cooling your body needs. That's especially true if you're working outdoors, in the yard, or doing physical work in hot and humid weather. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke both cause your body temperature to rise, and the temperature spike goes hand in hand with several other symptoms. So we talked about the dry red skin rash, the inability to sweat. But now, if you're having a heat stroke, you also can have seizures, dizziness or fainting, slurred speech, hallucination, altered mental status, confusion, aggression, or agitation. So this is the end of my presentation. It will be posted on the Main Street Church of God in Christ website. And like I said earlier, you can also refer to it on CDC, www.cdc.gov. This has been my presentation. I hope this will help you. And remember to drink water, Gatorade, Powerade, and be safe in the summer heat. So make sure you go out early before 6 in the morning or 6 and below in the afternoon. I thank you so much, and you have a blessed and wonderful day.